A boy is born in Hoptown, Mississippi, surrounded by four walls that ain't so pretty. His parents give him love and affection to keep him strong and moving in the right direction. Living just enough for the city. His father worked some days for 14 hours, and you can believe that he barely makes a dollar. His mother goes and scrub floors for men, and you can bet that she hardly makes a penny. They're living just enough for the city. Sun black, but she's sure not pretty, and her skirt is short, long on the legs are steady. And to walk to school, you got to get up early. Repose on the bed, never ever day. They're living just enough for the city. My brother is smart. He's got more sense than many. His patience is long, but still we won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a that needle. 'Cause when I hear you lay a face on you, common people, they're living just enough of the city. Somebody's gonna come along and take them children straight on home. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You just know. Sometimes we don't even know. They just never know. They hardly got no clothes on their back. Ain't got no covers on their bed. Sometimes I'm right, but I could be wrong. My beliefs are in my soul. Butcher, baker, a drummer, and then makes no difference what the people are in. And everyday people. There is a few one that won't set the free one for being such a happy one. Trying to be a skinny one. They run strokes for different folks. And so on and so on. Scooby, Doo. We got to live together. I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you hold me, and then you can't figure out the bag I'm in. I am everyday people. Any white woman in this audience today, any white man in this audience today, in their right minds, don't want little black boys and little black girls coming around your homes, schools, and churches looking to marry your sons and daughters, and in return introducing your grandchildren as little half-brown, kinky-head Negro children. No intelligent black man in this audience, no intelligent black woman in this audience want little white boys and little white girls coming to marry their sons and daughters, and in return introducing your grandchildren as little half-white, green-eyed, blonde-haired Negroes. We're not seeking to lose our identity in blood mixing and our beautiful black African history. We don't hate you. We don't hate those of you who are white. We just want to stay black. We love my color. I just love myself.
Upgrade to an A.O. Smith Energy Star certified hybrid electric heat pump water heater and take advantage of
your credentials that led you to get to college. Like, were you state champion?
My freshman year, I wrestled varsity. Kind of rocky road because it was, and then when I was out there, which is girl. For me, I hit growth spurts really.
Is that all your
wrestling? It's Army, So okay. My dad was in the Army, so we traveled all over the place. My family's from Panama, so my dad joined the U.S. Army, so he brought us over to the United States, and that's when he started having me and my kid. I have 3 older sisters. I was born in North Carolina, actually. I was born in Fort Bragg, and we traveled all over the place. We went in Kansas for a while, and then I lived in Germany for about 4 years. And I was just one of those kids that just ran around. I played sports. I played a little bit of everything. And I got into wrestling. I got into amateur wrestling when
it was magnificent. Next question.
Also, the final question. Hi, Kate from Fightful. You guys seem very motivated to find gold here, and I just wanted to ask what it was like to come into a company and see so many black champions, and what it meant to challenge right off the bat, essentially, a former black world champion.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that black champion. It's just a champion. See, we've normalized this already, and that's what I want to do with it. You winning a title as a black champion, and there's other black champions here. We can kind of erase that word now. We could just say champion. It could be it could be a black champion. It could be Asian champion. It can be Latin champion. It could be any champion. So we've already normalized that, so we can kind of erase that black champion, and it's just champion now.
It's great.
Great. Well, guys.
Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
I was going to give another one to go out on a nice note, but MVP is getting out of here.
I know.
Guys, thank you so much, Bobby. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you, Tony.
I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. This is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture. The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's a Negro here, and as long as he speaks Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they speak French. When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What I'm saying is that many Puerto Ricans are mistaken for Negroes. I do not think discrimination stems only from slavery.
Let me turn to...
I didn't know how I was going to start this. When I woke up this morning, first of all, I wasn't thinking about the pay-per-view. Something told me. I canceled. Usually I do this on Wednesdays or Thursdays. I canceled both of them and said that I was going to do it on Friday. And Friday I got busy, but I didn't have no type of energy to do it despite the topics that I had planned. I had a whole show planned. But I got busy and I didn't have the energy anyway. So I said, fuck it. I wasn't going to do nothing this weekend at all on it. I woke up this morning. That's the first thing I seen. Bobby Lashley from Panama, a Hispanic, a man with dark skin, literally told the world that he want to erase blackness. And me, as a lifelong wrestling fan, I'm 36 years old, and I've been at it for about 28, 29 years. I got myself involved in this business, in that ring, outside that ring. And Bobby Lashley has always been one of my favorites. I always advocated for Bobby Lashley, not just in the name of blackness. Bobby Lashley, to me, was the man. He was a great wrestler. And I always thought that he got bad breaks, despite what they presented to you people and myself. I was happy when he won a WWE championship. I was happy to my core. I felt it in my heart. I needed to see something like that because that's not something that we all are used to seeing. A melanated person winning the WWE championship. I want y'all to understand where I'm about to go. Apparently, we have four. The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment. He's the very first one to tell you that. He's also the first one to tell you how proud he is of his Samoan heritage. He got it tattooed over his body. That's the lifestyle he chose to live. His Canadian father, who apparently his father, or either his father, I'm sorry, either his parents, because people say his parents, it doesn't match up a little bit, but I don't know. It doesn't. But it could have been his grandparents that were slaves in the United States, and they made their way to Canada, married into that Samoan family. And this is all The Rock represents. Samoan, Samoan, Samoan. First melanated WWE champion. Move on to Kofi Kingston. Ghana. He's from Ghana. He's Ghanaian. I've always looked at and loved and respected Kofi Kingston. They presented him as a Jamaican, and he worked his way into being an African, a proud African, a great athlete. And he didn't make no bones about it. He's a Ghanaian. He didn't try to say he was an American. He didn't even try to front. So I was always happy for his success as a Ghanaian man. Then we move on to Bobby Lashley, this Panamanian, a man who I just found out was Panamanian 2 years ago. He fooled the shit out of me. And if you go through my shit, type in Bobby Lashley name. For the last 2 years, I have made it clear that he was a Panamanian, but I've always advocated for him too. Just a couple of months ago, when the WWE was willing to let him go in the shape that he's in, the condition that he's in, and the type of matches that he has had, oh, I advocated for him. And that led me to today. After that, immediately after that, we had a Jamaican and a Mostentarian man as the WWE champion. He's never been disrespectful. He's never said that he was a Jamaican and a Monstantarian man. He definitely cosplayed and he played the role, but I always knew something was wrong based off of his hairline. We're going to talk about delineating later. These are the four WWE champions since 1963, since the company was developed. Nan one of them are a descendant of a slave in America. And these are the ones that me, an American Negro, a black man, a proud black man, and I can identify as a black man. I can identify as an American Negro. I can identify as a black American, not via the 14th Amendment. Hypocritical 14th Amendment, by the way. These four men have to represent me because of the color of their skin. Same thing when it comes down to presidency. We've never had an American descendant of a slave. Barack Obama is Kenyan and white. I don't know anybody from Kenya in my family. This man never represented us, not even through policy or power. Same thing for the WWE. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I got a respect for all four of these gentlemen. Always have. And I'm happy for their success. But it shouldn't be at the expense of my people. People who built this country, fought, bled, and died to maintain this motherfucker. So for me to have this love and appreciation for this Hispanic, Bobby Lashley, for the work that I've witnessed him put on throughout my lifetime, to come up and tell the world that he wants to erase blackness. You were never black in the first place. The white lady that asked this Hispanic the question is catching a lot of hell to the point to where she locked her page down because white folk asked, how dare you even ask such a question? Aren't we beyond this color bullshit? Y'all scaring this white lady just because she asked a question regarding race. I'm the only one that I noted throughout the day. I note a lot of comments. I'm the only one that said she asked the wrong man the question. Bobby Lashley is not a black man. And he was the first one to tell you that he isn't a black man. He will always tell you that his family is from Panamanian. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Born and raised. I traveled throughout this country, multiple countries. I'm sorry, not countries, multiple states throughout this country. And I have family in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, New York, Ohio, Indiana, and Phoenix, Arizona. And those few just migrated to Phoenix, Arizona. So they pretty much from Detroit. And I have traveled to a few more states, unfamily related. Even in Florida, I don't think that I ran across a Panamanian. I brushed shoulders with a lot of ethnic groups in America. I've never been to New York though. They may be there. I don't know. But I don't brush show. I don't when I walk outside, I don't see these motherfuckers. I'm not, the matter of fact, let me look down the street real quick. And the first person I see is a white motherfucker. But I don't see no motherfucking Panamanians. All right? I don't see no Panamanians. But this man is supposed to represent me. My children are supposed to look up to this dark skinned person and tell me that this person represents me and them. Just for him to tell the world that he wants to erase blackness. I've been telling people for the last 2 years that Bobby Lashley specifically is a Hispanic. Whether I'm showing my respect or anything regarding what he does, making be known that he's a Hispanic. So when I seen these comments, it was expected, but I didn't realize that I would be so fucking upset. All day today, I've been seething. It just because a lot of people are shocked, but y'all gotta understand how dangerous this is. And I'm talking to American Negroes. A lot of people is believing that shit, and forever, anybody, coons, white folk, any other ethnic group that's anti-black, anti-Negro specifically, is always gonna point to this clip when he said that black doesn't matter. He wants to erase blackness. We are just people. And he talking about in the country to where they put it in their United States Constitution that American Negroes are 3/5 of a human being. And even if they erase that shit in their heart, it's an unwritten law that American Negroes are 3/5 of a human being. We got to stop giving the most deceitful people in the fucking world so much trust and belief that they mean well. These people are put in place as citizens to be as nice and friendly as they want to be. They are put in place of that shit just so the very thing that protects them, that Constitution, can to continue to protect them in any fucking situation, any situation in the world. I'm not gonna go there right now because this ain't even about white folk and the white supremacy via anti-blackness, anti-Negro. I'm not even gonna go there. But I'm hurt. I'm hurt as a lifelong Bobby Lashley fan. I'm hurt. Instead of me saying, and I told you so, I'm hurt. So I'm gonna get back more into that in a minute. I'm gonna take a request in April. I see you and I need you. And you already know what time I'm on. But like I said, my theme is wrestling with racism. So I welcome you and I want you to see what wrestling with racism is all about. And trust me, if you could stick around, I need you. But I'm gonna open up the floor real quick. And so I don't know who semi truck driver is, but I'm gonna open it up to you. You can come on up. They say it's a problem adding you. All right, welcome to Wrestling with Racism. All right, I don't know if it's an issue with your. You more than welcome. I want to know how you feel about that because I know we've been talking about Bobby Lashley before, and I don't know if you was up here when I played the clip, but it's always been a misconception, and I just found out that it was a misconception about an hour ago. I found the interview in 2012, and I posted it a minute ago. I don't feel like going through that shit right now, but I'll post it in a minute when I get a little time. Um, Bobby Lashley admitted that both of his parents is from Panama, and that his father somehow joined the U.S. military, and they traveled throughout the country, lived throughout the country, and then they moved to Germany. The only other country that he named was Germany. They lived out there for 4 years, but he did acknowledge that he's from Panama, and both his parents is from Panama, so he's not mixed with American Negro at all or any other ethnic group. It's just Panama. Uh, but I'll get back on that later. So semi truck, you got the floor. Welcome to Wrestling with Racism.
I mean, like, why does this bother you so much? What one man thinks.
All right. I don't know you. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm a semi truck driver. I'm just a casual pro wrestling fan.
What's your ethnicity?
I'm Cuban, Hispanic,
Okay.
Latino. I know I don't have the right to speak on this topic. I know
Yeah,
my words
you
doesn't
can speak about anything that
my
you want
words don't
to,
carry no
but just
water
stay
on
in
this
your
topic.
lane.
But I just don't
Huh?
understand why people why some people get triggered over things that some people say. Like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Especially
Um,
if people like him say it. Who cares?
do you live in Cuba?
No, not anymore. I moved up to the United States in 2020.
Oh, you just got to America.
Yeah.
Are you a citizen?
No, I got my green card.
You got your green card. When did you get your green card?
2020.
Oh, okay.
About
Uh,
January 2020.
what made you come to America?
One of my partners was setting up a truck driving business, and I got to work. I came over here to work and just to help him out and help myself out as well. That's the kind of main reason. I was just kind of just getting by in Cuba.
It's kind of tough out there. Ain't it?
Yeah, it's you could say that, but I mean
I
I
mean,
mean,
is it
I was
tough
just
for you?
grateful.
Is it tough out here in America for you?
No,
Being here 4 years?
it's probably better over here. You got more freedom and stuff. Not
What type
social
of
media
freedom?
and blogs. Say that again.
What type of freedom?
Freedom of speech, kind of freedom of kind of do whatever you want to do on the weekends and after work. You're not really chained down to anything. Things are not
I
closed.
need you. I'm sorry. You moving too fast. Can you elaborate? Because like
Which
you
part?
couldn't speak you couldn't speak in Cuba.
No, I mean you can speak in Cuba, but as far as like social media or if you want to like protest like the government, it's kind of hard to like get put boots on the ground and start like for
Whoa, wait
example,
a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Why is it hard to put boots on the ground of your government?
because they control a lot of the means of everything as far as transportation and health services. So if we start, putting belt to ass, like they may like
The entire country
so,
depends on welfare.
no, I said like if we start like demanding, we start banging the table too much, they may like strip some of our rights as far as getting health care because everything is government centralized.
Will they kill you?
I mean, they probably. I mean, I don't know. But hold on for a second.
You got to look that up. You just
I mean, I
got
don't know.
here.
I don't fear. Well, wait, am I saying will they kill me here?
No, in Cuba,
I don't know.
if you put the boots to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, they probably will if it's too
What
extreme.
you
But
mean probably? Don't you know this? How old are you, sir?
no, I'm 30. I don't know. I guess I haven't like caused enough havoc over there
But don't you
to
know what's
figure out.
going on in your country? Have anybody caused havoc?
Yeah, people call us havoc, but I guess it hasn't reached the levels that of killing people. I mean, I don't fear no man,
I'm
so I
watching
don't go around like I'm not
TV2.
scared of them. So I don't. It don't even. I mean, if we did
You're
like
not
something like
scared of what?
I'm not. I don't fear no man. But if we had like a January 6th,
You seem like
as
you were
many
scared to
Americans had
make a
over here,
living in Cuba. Why are you here, sir?
I wasn't. Bro, I just told you,
To
my
make a better
partner,
living.
my partner was. But I'm not scared to make a living in Cuba.
But you
See,
haven't.
this is what you and your Americans. Y'all think y'all know everything about everybody
Oh
else.
shit! Hold on. You about to tell me about myself? Hold on. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
you're telling me about myself. You telling me I'm scared. You don't even
All
know
right,
me.
you
You
right.
never met
You're
me.
fair enough. Go ahead. Continue.
I mean, yeah, no. You was just asking like, how do I know if I'm going to get killed or not? I don't know for a fact. I haven't, pushed the envelope that much. I mean, I don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
So, you're here temporarily, right?
In 2026, I can probably apply for a 10-year uh, green card uh, extension. So we'll see.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We'll see. Or do
We
you
gotta see if I
plan
get
on
it. If
being
we
here
got it,
long, or
if
do
I
you
get
plan on returning? My ultimate question is: do you plan on returning?
no,
No.
no, I don't return. I don't plan on returning. The strip
Wait, I
clubs
have a
here are way better.
question.
You got it. You got it.
I have a question because
You
he's
got it.
lying. Um, you said you got here in 2000.
No, I didn't say that.
When did you get here?
2020.
You said 2020.
Yes, I never said 2000.
Okay, I'll be back.
Hold on for a second. I think I missed the phone call. I'm not running away from the smoke. I'll be back.
You
You
said
ran
you're
away
not
from
going
your
back,
homeland.
so you're definitely running. You're the runner. You're
This
the
the second
runner.
time now. How you doing, April?
I'm well. I'm well. I could have swore he said he came here in 2000.
No, he said 2020. He,
Okay. During COVID. Interesting.
I'm sorry, I hit Siri by mistake, but
He
he
came
did.
during
He came
COVID.
here in two.
Yeah,
Yep, yep. He said he got
that's
his green
interesting.
card that same year.
I don't think people with green cards should tell people, the builders of this country what they should do or be concerned about or talk about or feel about anything.
That's
You don't
kind of
have the
what this
right.
the title is. That's what that Hispanic did to us last night. But I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's why we're talking about it because it's a problem. Yeah. And Cubans do that a lot, right? Because they have dark and melanation. Like what's his name? From Friday, Big Worm.
Yep.
He's
Phase
a
on
he's
left.
100% Cuban, and he's dark. He's very dark skinned.
You know
So
what
they've
fucked
been,
me up?
huh?
I
Yeah, that
found
fucked
out
me up
that
too, bro. When I found that out, I was like,
no,
whoa.
I'm saying, look, I already knew about him, but they it fucked me up that fucking Gilbert Arenas is 100% Cuban. I did that. That fucked me up, and he speak. he claimed he speak for us more than any fucking body. That fucked me up, and it really fucked me up about Maxwell because he like Puerto Rican and I forget
Haitian.
Haitian. Oh man, and my thing about Maxwell is, and you know, Maxwell is one of my favorite artists of all times. Like, and even after me finding that out, but it's like I said, it's just like this Bobby Lashley situation. It's very disingenuous for you to at least not let us know. So you got us thinking, and most of the people thinking that you are us, and you're taking that credit. And at any given time, you could well, first of all, you could already be doing it. You just know that if you did, you'll fuck up your money. And in the wrestling terms, same thing with Hulk Hogan, who is a white racist, anti-black white supremacist. And he's a white supremacist because of the powers that he had and the shit that he's continued to get away with and got paid for it. Millions. He couldn't come out there calling us niggers and shit in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, when he was making most of his money in the ring. But when all that money was all said and done, he could flaunt that shit any motherfucking way he want to and still and is able to get away with that shit. Able to get away with that shit to this fucking day. So we got a lot of people telling us how we feel. That's a fucking issue with me because you can't tell us how you feel. How are we supposed to feel? Tell us how you feel about Panama. While you taking credit for us, you should have been utilizing this time advocating for your people in Panama in whatever conditions they're in. At least if they're in great condition, at least to say that you're proud of them. But your father didn't fight for their military. He fought for an American military. You, in return, fought for an American military. Yeah, April. He's uh an American. He was in the military. He was in the U.S. Army. But I do want to ask you a question though. First of all, are you familiar with anything in professional wrestling?
A little, but I'm not familiar with all the business. I mean, I was a wrestler. I'm an exer, so I was definitely a wrestler. I'm a Stunning Steve fan for
Oh shit,
wrestling.
yeah, and that's one of my favorite too from Texas. You know what I'm saying? And for me to grow up and find out that he's a racist, you know what I'm saying? I've always called him one of my favorites. I'm sorry. I've always called him my favorite for a long ass time.
Who's Stone
So
Cold?
yeah,
Yeah, he was, man. That was definitely one of my favorites growing up.
just to come to find out that he viewed me as a nigger, you know what I'm saying? And so I do want to ask you this because I believe Bobby Lashley was born in '72. Let me double check that. Okay, Bobby Lashley was born in 1976. So apparently his father was in the military throughout his childhood. Not knowing the ages of his parents and none of that, let's just say he was in there over the last decade. But the story that he gave was that his father joined the military apparently when they was living in he joined the US military apparently when they were living in Panama. Can immigrants do that directly from their country?
I don't know. I have to look and see because there was a lot of stuff going back, a lot of it's a lot of stuff going on. So I would have to, it could have been a deal with their governments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't say. Yeah, I have to look. I don't know.
Yeah, I never even
That's a
thought of
good
something
question.
like that. So I just discovered this within the last couple of hours, and I didn't have time to look into that. But I'm gonna note that and look into that. And if you know anything, you could DM me if you know any if you find out anything. Because that didn't sit right with me, and I'm wondering if they could still do that to this day. and are they doing that? Especially with the droves that they coming in here. Um, and what could be potentially coming up. Everybody will fucking sign up. A 50-year-old, Latino maid to come in there and do that shit. And she'll shoot some shit up. Um, Semi, you back? Yeah, all right. Yeah, whenever you available to speak, put your hand up. I'm gonna get Pecker Tom Ron out the way right quick. Um, Ronald, if you jump on that bullshit, then you could do. I low key want to wait for somebody for your ass, but I'm gonna try to get you out the way. And if you available, then you could come back when if I dismiss you. Um, I do want to see what you have to say about this situation. So speak towards the topic, okay? Ronald, welcome to Wrestling with Racism.
Mm-mm-mm. You once again continue to do it with Bobby Lashley now. Someone you claim to have respect for, but clearly you didn't. Must have really killed you when you found out that.
April, I forgot to tell you, I'm dealing with wrestling fans too, but I'll explain all that stuff later. So some of them may come off a little nervous and shit, but I'm the ones to wake up and kind of
Yeah,
keep them
and
hearts
yeah,
out. We
see, he's
can't
gonna
keep
keep cutting
dismissing
me
them,
off
but
as
that's what
usual.
that is. Go ahead, Ronald.
He's gonna keep cutting me off like usual because I
No, you
usually
got
get
it. Go
under his
ahead.
skin. I get under his skin constantly because he does that. Why do you gotta feel some type of way like when Bobby Lashley well, you once again do it again. You find out what happens, and then you go on and threaten their families yet again. Oh look, he's silent now. He can't speak.
Oh no, that's your question.
No, no, no,
Um,
no, no. No, you were silent. You couldn't speak because you have no facts.
all right, so that's your question. Um, I, my uncle always told me say what I mean.
Here we go. Here we go with your stories.
My uncle always told me say what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean
yeah. Hurry up.
and
Hurry
mean
it up,
what I
bitch.
say.
Hurry
So
up, bitch.
that's my answer.
And a fucking coward bitch ass answer as usual. Mm-mm-mm.
Anything constructive?
He go lead you into straight April. Watch. Once he found out about more black people, he's gonna threaten your family. Just watch. Just wait.
Elaborate.
Elaborate. You've seen what I posted. You know what you tweeted.
She don't know you. Tell her what you mean.
Why don't you show her the tweets that you made?
Ronald, ain't nobody got time for that
No, no,
shit. Tell her
shut the
what.
fuck up. Answer the fucking question, bitch.
Listen, you
Shut the
about to.
fuck up. Answer the question, bitch.
I don't even know the question.
Answer
What's
the
the question,
question,
Ronald?
bitch. Shut the fuck up.
All right. So and like I said, if you choose to dip out of here, you can come back when it's your time. I am waiting on the particular person that want to ask you a question, and he will be up here shortly. But going back to the topic and Barrier, if you're available to speak, if you want to speak to this, you're more than welcome. This, like I said, is very disheartening to me because, and like I said, that's why it's very important for us to delineate away from um, anyone that's not American Negro, especially no matter how cool they come off. Like I said, we got to stop being so loving. And I know that these are the options that they present to us, and that's why I it's wrestling with racism. It's not me being what you could call racist or whatever phobic y'all want to call. It's a lot of different phobics all of a sudden. Um, whatever y'all want to call. It's nothing wrong with me having a love specifically for my people. You know, Africans, if a Nigerian was to come over here and say that they have Nigerian pride, How can I be mad at that? And how could anybody be mad at that? And generally, y'all wouldn't. It's crazy that y'all do not call any other person racist. Latinos. I think that dude said he was Cuban and shit. You know, if he was to have Cuban Day, y'all don't question why y'all don't have White Day. Um, anybody else can have pride in their ethnic group except for American Negroes. We can't show pride in any sense. We can't have pride in any of our heroes without being labeled racist. We can't call any of our people none of the greatest in anything without being labeled racist. So that's when the question come up: why does it have to be about race? And white folk not gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, we're proud of our white this person and our white that person," because in this most categories, y'all don't have to say that shit. Everybody may agree. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be about that. But in certain territories, such as professional wrestling, where it's a smaller group that's being presented, despite when you look at the independent promotions around the country, and a lot of independent promotions I've noticed are uh have a good portion of American Negroes. Even if it was uh still more dominated white. If you looking at least five in every single promotion around the country, and we talking about thousands, why can't it still be presented up to the top once it get to AEW and the WWE? So lately, you had Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, uh, Pakistani and Caucasian man. His mother is white, and his father is from Pakistan. He's a billionaire. Um, he owned a couple of factories down in Detroit, the surrounding cities in Detroit, Flexingate. His name is Sahid or Sahad Khan. And actually, if you remember, I don't remember the Black News Network or something, that wherever Mark Lamont Hill um used to work at, the All Black Network, if you're familiar with that got cut. Sahid Khan was he bought that station, or whatever group that station was a part of. He bought it and he instantly cut it. And Mark Lamont Hill actually called that out publicly. So his son is, and he owned the Jacksonville Jaguars. And his son is a little nerd, and he a billionaire as well, and own this wrestling promotion, which is become secondary to the WWE, which is also another $1 billion promotion. And when I say about wrestling with racism, like I said, I've always been involved in this business for most of my life, inside that ring and outside that ring, working with a lot of white supremacists. Even before I woke up, you know what I'm saying? So I overlooked a lot of comments, or I dealt with a lot of comments in fear of losing a position. You know what I'm saying? And this is what a lot of these few black wrestlers that they present is always put under. You know what I'm saying? It's since there's very few of us, you know what I'm saying? Since there's very few of us, a lot of people stay tight-lipped and they take a lot of shit that they shouldn't have to take as a human being. Just like American Negroes, regular American Negroes. Matter of fact, they may appear anti-black, or they become anti-black just to stay the course. You know what I'm saying? For whatever little crumbs they receive. Um, the reason me bringing all of that up is because this person got this promotion, which is supposed to be different from the WWE. And like I said, nobody could deny that American Negroes are the most entertaining people in the world. The world laugh at us. The world cry for us. The world allegedly cry for us, but they at least cry at us. Um, the world is moved by us. For some reason, this so-called 13% of people take a stranglehold over the world in many different fashions of entertainment. Um, we are the most charismatic people in the world. All American Negroes know that from family members, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, children, parents, grandparents. You know, we are the most beautiful people in the world. I mean, everybody else ugly as fuck. You know, you could white baby, no matter how beautiful a white could turn out, motherfucking baby, when they a baby, they ugly as fuck to start. Like they crinkle, and that crinkleness, you know, is a precursor to what's gonna happen for the rest of their life after they turn 40. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much they take care of themselves, by the time they 60, without no type of surgery and none of they shit, they fucking stone bricks. But they start out crinkled as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And like I got a lot of Middle Eastern people, Arabs and shit. Duke, what up? I got you in 1 second. One thing I noticed about them is that when they young, men and female, male and female, when they young, they look really, really young. Like they look young as fuck. But like by the time they 30, they look like what they try to portray Moses as or Jesus or some shit like that. Like just old and just stone. Like they just there's no in between with them. So like you can't look at them and be like, damn, you look good to be 50. Nah. They really 30. Big ass gray ass beards and shit. Um, but my point in saying all of that is that we as a so-called 13% are the most spectacular people in the world. You know, April, a lot of people look toward us. A lot of these Pan-Africanists who are Pan-Africanists from America. Uh, you know, all these tethers that we talk to online, the countless and countless and countless of tethers, the countless of tethers that we may talk to in person. All these people look toward American Negroes for everything, including, but not limited to, but including a connection. You know what I'm saying? And for them, to, even if we from, you know, whoever may come from Africa, this, that, and the other, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They, for them to be dominant there, and for us to not be dominant here. You get what I'm saying? As our people here, even with they immigrants that come over here, is still not a dominant people over here. Why are they still looking toward this 13% and put us down because they can't get that type of love and stature amongst the world? You know, I had a coworker. I got a coworker that's an American Negro, and he went over to Bangkok twice in a row for vacation, 2 years in a row for vacation. And one thing he said about them is that, you know, once they find out that you a cool cat, they love you and they love you to death and they treat you great over there. You know what I'm saying? But he did say that there was some Africans over there. He didn't say what country they was from. But they was all timid and shit and just standing there and just all timid and shit. So he just noticed that they just didn't fuck with them. But he was just easy, just being himself, which is easy to just, that's just how we are. Even the most so-called racist white man will just be, if you just cool and yourself, he gonna, you know, fake love the shit out your motherfucking ass. Keep your ass around for as long as he can, just out of entertainment purposes or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this nigga, I'll give him a high paying job. I don't like him. You know? But we such an exceptional people for to be such a small out of this so-called black people. You know what I'm saying? Why do everybody look toward us? Us. yet show this disrespect. You would think that coming over here, despite what little the government gives them, that they come over here with a respect and understanding and try to unite so that we can fight our issues along with their issues as a number together. Since they don't come over here with that attitude, fuck them. And I don't think it's nothing that they could do to repair that shit. So they gotta repair whatever issues they got, but we got our own fight that we gotta repair. And it don't include them. And it won't. I just wanted to say that right quick. Duke, what up though?
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, how you doing? I hope everything's going well. And it's a shame that, like I messaged you earlier, that Malcolm X, I don't know, Malcolm, the guy who basically was the foundation of it, Marcus Garvey, that type of energy and that type of love for his people was, was not, it's not present in these in today, for these foreign people and such. I know there's some who do get their mind right, who are, and the sad part is the dominant society does not want to show them because they did that last time, and well, you see how powerful Marcus Garvey got. Without Marcus Garvey, you wouldn't get like you know. I don't think you get Malcolm X and Nation of Islam. You don't get Martin Luther King. You don't get all these the civil rights people. You won't get them without they realized that mistake and now
Duke, I think you talked to me long enough for you to not mention certain names without me threatening to smack the fuck out your ass.
what
But
my
I go ahead,
Marcus
go at it. I
Garvey.
just wanted to say that right quick while you continue.
Yeah, among Marcus Garvey and all this stuff. But I think the tethers here. The problem is that there is a incentive to sell out to people. There is incentive to sell you to basically be a part of the whole system that destroy us. There's incentive for it. There's
I
monetary,
apologize.
you know, monetarily incentives. There's monetary as incentives and uh, housing and money and jobs and everything else. And even if you did try to deport or whatever, that's not going to happen anyway. I love when people like say, "Oh, we got ICE and all this stuff." No, they ain't going to deport nobody. It is this country and most of the people in the West, and they don't want to hear this. And I know people don't want to like this stuff. It's because most of it is built on cheap and slave labor. And if they really wanted to go after these people, man, you have to go after these corporations. You're gonna have to go after these you know, all these other places that, oh y'all you don't want, oh you getting all this type of guess what, buddy? You're out. All this undocumented stuff, you're out. There you go. But that's it. That hurts their bottom line. That hurts their bottom line, man. So that's what you have to look to. You can't look at the people saying we can't do all this other stuff. We have to look at the roots of the issue. The roots is white supremacy. The root is about how this stuff is. And if you don't, well, we're going to be still in the same position. We're still going to be in the same place. And what I hear about what Lashley said last night, I mean, that's what he thinks. Fine. It sucks. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't know what his life and everything else is. I can't force him to put in our position. We can't put a gun to his head. I mean, that probably the bullet would probably ricochet and probably hit me. But it's just that we have this. I think as a whole, and I talk about this many times, and I don't. I think you see it too. I think most of us see it too. Is that we have a self hatred problem. Black folk, we have a self-hatred problem. We look at each other as, black men versus black women, black boys versus black girls, and everything else in between. We hate each other. We have this hatred of each other, and it is an incentive to keep that hate going. There's incentive to keep we cannot really be together because there's money to be made behind this hate. You know, that's why you get all this Andrew Tate bullshit. You get that Mayan Daves or whatever fashion fit bullshit or whatever. You get all this stuff. All these other situations. Funding the gender war and everything else. You know, there is incentive for that. And if we actually loved each other and actually cared and have a way of actually of us, being in that foundation, nothing stops us. You know. But that's just my 2 cents, man. But yeah, I wanted to get in here because I want to hear your thoughts. I wanted to get my piece in because you were really heated about this. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there and put my stuff here too.
Well, I
Because
mean,
yeah,
like I said, moving forward, because I know this is, you know, Duke is one of the ones that's a very hardcore wrestling fan that know what time it is. And like I said, you got to excuse me for saying what I said earlier too, because you didn't clarify that shit earlier. And then it was a couple of people that's been throwing that shit at me recently. I'm tired of hearing about Marcus Garvey and Martin Luther King and all that shit right now. You know what I'm saying? In certain situations and shit. And so you didn't clarify that. So I do apologize. And like I said, I should have shut it the fuck up because I already know what time you take what time you on that end. But I do want to know before I give my little rebuttal on that, just specifically on Bobby Lashley, how do you feel about him saying speaking out of place? First of all, how do you feel about her asking that question? Do you think that she's unaware and ignorant and just wanted to take that time, considering the fact that people think that our numbers is up based off of Bobby Lashley? And I'm gonna get on MVP in a second because he's in question with me. Um, we're sitting there and considering the fact that people once again think our numbers is up based off of them and Leo Rush who just came back. And also, um, his answer, like, he's cosplaying. He has been cosplaying because apparently since 2012, that's the earliest interview I could find with him speaking about his family. He has always been let it be known that he's Panamanian. You know what I'm saying? But when people label him black, he know that they mean like black American. You know
yes,
what I'm saying?
that's what it is. It's like we
And he
we
never cleared that up. He never gave no props to Panama. He's not proud of a Panamanian success. You know, whatever if they got any. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, I think that's the issue. But then, most people, but then, you have to count that most Americans, I'm not saying they're all idiots or whatever, but most Americans don't think about anything above their source. If it's like, they don't know what a panorama is, they don't know most of the stuff there, they don't know anything. They are willfully ignorant about the world around them. They think, well, American is American, and here we are. That's what it is. Because I think he realized that probably too. Because most he could probably spring that like I know that's my thing. I could be 100% wrong, and that sort of situation.
Did you
But
say spin?
I said that's what he thinks. Probably he's probably like, what, these people don't care. I'll just say, what, use black or whatever because
Oh,
most
they
of the
think we
country.
fools. That's why
No, I don't think he's fooled, but I think most people
no,
in
I
the
said
country
no,
are
no, no. I
fools.
said he think we're fools.
Well, have
A
not
lot of
us,
all of them do. All
not
these
but
actors and like that fucking bitch off of the bitch that played the EVO whatever the fuck, they think that they could say even Faison Love, the like I say, he Haitian or some shit or Cuban or some shit like that. They think they could say little slick shit against us and think that it's okay. we're not going to notice because it's just a black man getting on a black man on some real shit or some shit like that.
Well,
And they
yeah,
think that, and we
but
allow that
yeah,
shit because, another thing I wanted to say, a lot of people don't interact with, like I said, it's not a lot of Africans are spread it all over throughout the country in these black cities. You know what I'm saying? So they
mhm.
don't experience them. So hey, black is black. You know what I'm saying? And they show the little hungry kids on TV and shit. And you know what I'm saying? We loving anyway. We loving the fucking whites who get burnt up and shit. So
Yeah, black
that's
is
why
black to
I'm
them
glad that, like I
because
said, 2024 is been the year of delineation, and it could lead into 2025 and forever, however long it fucking take. But other people don't give a fuck about us. They don't want to be known as black. They want their own identity to be spotlighted. You
oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
but
they have to take this black route first.
yeah, they have to because
And they
if
don't
they
respect us. I mean, the
well,
media taught them to not respect us.
and that's the problem because media um, is one of the most important things. Without without type of any type of real structural media, I mean, people, like I said, the hatred is real. Not only we
Not no fucking Roland Martin type media either.
oh gosh, oh hey, no, I that type of
Maybe
stuff. And
maybe some
sad,
maybe some revolt, whatever put Diddy in jail.
yeah, something like I wish that there was more of those early black newspapers and such that actually reported truth and such. That type of thing. But that sadly
Not
is
the
gone.
NAACP paper though, right?
No, there's other stuff there too. But you understand what I'm saying.
Well, I know. I'm fucking with you. Good.
But yeah, that's what you need. And for the longest time, this country, what you see in representation and such, what do you see black people as for the most part? As villains, as gangsters, ignorant, uh, barely can count or whatever. The blind side, that type of stupid stuff. And
The
how has the
Godfather is the greatest movie of all times.
mm, yeah. And meanwhile, you know, you see there's there was black people who do such great stuff, greatness and everything else from scientific discovery to military or anything else. It's like I don't know. We don't want to really show that. It takes a long time. I truly believe this. If there was no Malcolm X movie, if Spike Lee never made that movie, Malcolm X would be completely forgotten about. He'll be right there with Mark Garvey or any other of revolutionaries and such that were completely forgotten and gone. You know, that's what the power of media is. Media
Well, I mean,
is
let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. So, like, okay, Sidney Poitier, Cicely Tyson, those were the most prominent actors starting from the 50s and 60s. You know what I'm saying? Diane Carroll, she is, and Diane Carroll, I looked into that she is light skinned, but both her parents are American Negroes. You know what I'm saying? But she was very, very light skinned, and I'm not saying nothing against the sister, and she always been down for us. And even Sidney Poitier and Cicely Tyson, at least from the outset, appeared that they were. And I wish April was still here because I wanted to integrate her into that part. She's a great delineator, and she's a great woman. And oh, there you go, April. Because I was just talking about you. I need you for this. I know that I asked you a couple of weeks ago about Africans, and I thought that they were probably coming here, in the decent portion, maybe around the '60s, whatever, after that civil rights bill passed. But you corrected me on that. Most of them got here after the 2000s, so they are much more recent. And I was talking about when it come down to entertainers because I was getting ready to move on to these tethers. You know what I'm saying? But we could go from the outset. Hattie McDaniels was an American Negro, but we could go to Sidney Poitier and Cicely Tyson who weren't, and they appeared pro-black, and they appeared pro-black American, and they may have been. You know what I'm saying? because they understood struggle. They lived it, possibly, because they were on this soil. Even though I did play a clip to where Malcolm did acknowledge that not only Puerto Ricans, but even if they recognized that you had an African accent, they wouldn't go as hard on you as they would the American Negro. I'm going to take this for YouTube, and um, but I got that clip already up here. Y'all can go back and check the space out and check that out. He acknowledged that in 1963, and that was the day that that Medgar Evers was killed. April, that's um, the video I sent you yesterday. Um, about that when you would sit the thing about the civil rights leaders coming together or some shit like that. He talked to two or three of them out of the four. You know, he couldn't get the Martin Luther King on TV or on public, record. But they still made those Sidney Poitier and Cicely Tyson the prominent figures for us, the standouts for us. And it seemed like Dick Gregory, a guy like Dick Gregory, a man like Dick Gregory, still grinded it out. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that public face. A lot of us discovered people like Dick Gregory and shit off of YouTube. Even Malcolm X, a lot of people didn't, and I'm not saying that the nation didn't have numbers. They were in the streets, especially in Detroit, they're still in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But in a lot of areas, they, probably are not as bigger numbers and stuff. So a lot of people didn't discover them until YouTube came out. And like you was talking about social media, social media opened a lot of eyes to a lot of different stuff, but people are being pulled in so many different directions. It's hard to know what to believe. And people like Bobby Lashley can string you along for the longest. And all that he could have never said nothing, and people would still believe that Bobby Lashley is, this, that, and other. And, for the fact that he said this, that's why I say people like Bobby Lashley is dangerous. That's why we can't trust Jade Cargill, who's Jamaican, who possibly feel this way about not wanting to be seen as black. You know what I'm saying? And she not out here openly telling you that she's Jamaican. But she is. She said it in a couple of posts on Twitter. I'm proud of my Jamaican roots, this, that, and the other. But she not gonna come out and portray a Jamaican on TV. She coming out there appearing as an American Negro and shaking her head and I'm bitching, I'm this, that, and the other. Shit that they think that black women are, American Negro women are. And it's like Bobby Lashley was explaining, oh, we different type of black people. I'm
The
Mr.
New
Post, all that
Blacks,
stuff.
remember that? Oh,
Huh?
the New Blacks, remember that?
Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. I'm done got on one. I'm been off work for a minute, so I done got on one. I don't feel like posting all this stuff right now. But if you got those videos, like you said, the new blacks. So we not being portrayed as thugs, thieves, niggers, this, that, and the other. He didn't say niggers for all those who act like it's all verbatim and shit. But basically, that's what he was saying. Um we dress different. You know what I'm saying? We this, that, and the other. Dude, you a wrestling fan.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me anything about the New Day? I mean, I'm sorry, not the New Day. Can you tell me anything about the Hurt Business?
Oh, the Hurt
Run.
Syndicate, all that stuff. A group that was basically, well, see, they were in the pandemic era because they would need to get any new ideas.
When everything was locked the fuck down, they ain't had no audience, right?
Oh yeah, and they were first basically the United States Championship was just going back and forth with Cruz and Lashley and Cruz and Lashley and yada
Mm-hmm.
yada yada. Then they just had to Lashley got his championship. He actually won his belt because they had to take it off of Drew by having the Miz, that's a whole other situation.
Right, right.
And then they had to wait a week because Miz like, he did his cowardly stuff. Then he beats then they won. Then they broke up the Hurt Business because of
Hold on,
reasons.
just for context, right quick. Just for context, right quick. what you just described was all within 1 month, right?
Oh yeah, they won the title.
So this wasn't no, oh, you thought 5, 6 months ago like Bobby Lashley had a chance. Because in essence, Bobby Lashley was what, 15, 16 years into his career?
Oh yeah, he was already champion in TNA and dominated.
Which is a
They
very low, and it was at his lowest during that time, right?
Oh yeah, and I don't blame that on
No,
Lashley. It was
I'm
just
no
bad.
right, but I'm just saying. So that really don't count. We talking about in mainstream what our children see. Our
Oh
children
yeah,
doesn't watch TNA.
no one did at
Our
that moment,
children
but
watch WWE, right?
oh yeah,
So you could
WWE.
say that they never presented Bobby Lashley as he. You think he got potential to win a WWE championship, right?
Well, there were times, but more often I think it was right back in the mid card, right back as a warm body with with him and like Constable Corbin taking on like Roman Reigns. It was just like it was
So
like it was
so
just
basically they just threw two niggas with them, to say that they're a group, right?
oh three
And they put them in
actually.
suits, right?
There was him, MVP, Cedric Alexander, and him, Shelton
And
Benjamin,
Shelton Benjamin.
MVP, and
Yeah.
yeah, and the most. And besides, before his championship run, I'm gonna keep reminding people of this.
Hmm.
They lost a leave him alone match with Ricochet by disqualification.
What the fuck is that?
I I just this is the reason why you know what no this is why no children. I'm like this is why I
Well, no,
said this
no,
one
no.
last.
Just to keep it in context, basically what you're saying is they had no solid, concrete plan for Bobby Lashley before he won the WWE Championship. So it basically what you could say is that they just threw it. Now, mind you, it's the pandemic and they had no audience, nothing. Basically, they could throw the title on him just to see something, right?
Yeah, and I think and then Big E won it, and then he went
Now they
right
did,
back.
man. Just for another context, they did. He held the title for 4 months, a quarter of a year,
Yeah, that's not yeah
and they did make him look strong throughout it
yeah
until he lost it out of the blue to a Jamaican slash Monstantarian.
yeah,
All right,
and
out
Big
the
E,
blue, just for no reason.
and
Go ahead.
then they have a rematch. Then they had a real I don't think he had a rematch.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, because I was talking about the Hurt Business. By the way, he won the WWE Championship. And for context, Shelton Benjamin, his group, Shelton Benjamin, first, he was the United States champion. He lost the title one night. The next night, no, he lost the title one night, and then like a week later, he won the WWE Championship. The United States title was like that step below the WWE title. He lost it one night, and then a week later, he won the WWE Championship, which is
No,
the
no, no,
main
no.
title.
Here's the thing. The timeline for Lashley losing the U.S. title was he was in I think it was the Rumble pre-show, I believe, and he
Okay.
wasn't pinned.
Oh, right,
And
right, right, right. So that was in January then. So from January um
February,
to
he
February.
wins,
So
and they had some some good stuff there. Then he lost. Then they had I think there was a sort of Hurt Business reunion. I think, or he had some. It was a
well,
triple
that's what I
threat
want to stop you
match.
at. That's where I want to stop you at because I want to say this for context. Shelton Benjamin, the group that they just threw with him, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander were tag team champions. Now, do you remember? Can you recall why everybody talk about the Hurt Business being a big group, right? Can you tell me about their tag team title reign in detail?
Well, they had a tag team. Yeah, Shelton and Cedric won the tag belts, and I think they lost them to the New Day actually.
Now, how long was
And
their title reign?
I think it was like before WrestleMania. I think they won it like I believe in November of 2020. Lost it before WrestleMania.
Oh, so
Um,
they did have a couple of month reign,
yeah, and I
but this was
think
before they got with Lashley, then, right?
No, this is while they were with Lashley and
Okay.
MVP.
So they
And
did have a,
then
but okay. So my point is saying that. So and I'm not just cutting you off, but I just wanted to get the basis of that. So they were champion from November to, let's say, February,
mhm.
April, February to March. So let's just say from February to March. Because if WrestleMania was in April, then they probably lost it in March, right? They didn't hold it at WrestleMania, right?
They New Day fought. I think they broke up or whatever after
Right. So
their
my
stuff.
point is, the why did they break up when he wanted that won the WWE title?
I haven't. You got to ask Vince McMahon for that because he was
So
booking at the time.
basically,
So
New Day wasn't. I'm sorry. Basically, the Hurt Business wasn't shit like everybody's trying to hype it was, like hype it up
well,
to be.
it
Right.
was something. That was the problem.
You
it's a
got
room
four
taste, but
quote black people, right?
yeah, and
Now
they.
let's talk about that quote. We already established that Bobby Lashley, and I invited MVP. I invited a couple of people. Oh, I already know they're not coming up, but I did. And I've been trying to figure MVP out. I've been trying to figure because I'm a delineator, and why do I have to search and search and dig for people ethnicity? Like, why can't you just say, "Hey, I'm Caribbean"? You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Um.
funny because it's funny because and I went through Florida last year. I went through a little stint in Florida last year, 6 months in multiple cities, and Miami. I'm gonna just say Miami specifically. There was only one American Negro that I seen in Miami, and that's when I looked in the fucking mirror. And trust me, it was a lot of quote black people every fucking where. They was every fucking where. I could barely hear what the fuck they was saying. There was so many. Like some of the food was all right, but I wasn't just making sure I wasn't trying to roaches and shit. Like I said, we different, right?
Hmm.
So I said that to say this: Miami got a lot of what we call tethers or other melanated people. I'm gonna tell you what a tether is. A tether is those people that try to act like you, Duke, an American Negro, right?
Yeah.
Just to pass by, just to get by. And and it's cool to admire somebody and hey, you want to be like your favorite person, whatever. But to just hate you and just, be disrespectful with just behind your back or in front of your face. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They can't even try to be nothing like themselves, but they don't, they got this hate for you and call you racist, this, that, and the other just because, right? There are people that are not like that, but they are not us. And we're not going to call them tethers. You know what I'm saying? They stick close to they, culture or whatever. They respectful, so we respectful. You know what I'm saying? There's some people like that, and they cool. They recognize they are them, and we recognize we are us, and we can fellowship, on a social level. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Yeah,
But
and
there are more tethers than not. It appears. It appears, at least online. Shit.
yeah, but it's internet is a weird place. It is a very odd place because most of it could be just
A lot of
bots.
people
Because
are
I've seen,
opportunists. The internet is the internet. You know what I'm
yeah, I
saying?
mean, there's a
Fine is
lot of
fine.
I've seen video and like documentaries and people like they're like, they have like hundreds and thousands of cell phones and just like have multiple accounts. It is that bot behavior. I don't know. It's worrying to me because it's so much a deception. Everything online and such is not real. It's all
Well,
it's
it's the
not
difference
tangible,
now.
you
Wait a
know?
minute, because real life is real life, and you are correct. But I'm gonna say real life is real life because Bobby Lashley, what the fuck he said, that was real. That wasn't no internet shit. You know
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
was
saying?
real.
That was real. He wants to erase blackness because he's not black like us. You know what I'm saying? He's not black like us. And instead of saying, well, let me say something. This could have been what he could have said. Well, let me tell you something. When she asked that question, to be clear, my parents are from Panama. I was born in America. He said that he was born in North Carolina, and then shortly after they moved to Kansas. And then shortly after they moved over to place Texas, some other couple of states, and then he said that he lived in Germany for 4 years before they settled into Colorado, which is where he grew up most of his life and where he's built from. You know what I'm saying on the wrestling end. Um, so he got world experience, he got country experience, he got world experience, but he acknowledged that his parents are Panamanian. He acknowledged, he even went so far as to acknowledge that when he won the WWE title in 2021, that his family in Panama were calling that night, congratulating him. So he got family there. As a matter of fact, his parents they may have moved back after all that fucking traveling that this U.S. you know drill sergeant or whatever fucking lived in. You know that's that, right?
Hmm.
So why not say correct her and say, oh well, I just want to say, you know, I don't identify as black. I'm Panamanian, and I want to be. I want my people to be my Panamanians to be recognized as a champion. Sometimes, I know people could look at our skin color and say this, that, and the other, but I still want to represent for my people. I would have had much more respect for. I would have had even more respect than I got for him now if he had came on and said that I don't have nothing against you, brother. But acknowledge yourself first. Introduce yourself first. Have pride for your people. Nigga, if you white power, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck if you say that shit. That's what you believe. Goddamn it, say it. Don't use it at my detriment. That's all the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, I see that point, man. And that's the real issue of honesty and integrity, which is the sad part is.
This motherfucker used blackness all the way till he got the most success. This 50-year-old man used blackness all the way until he got the fuck to where he could make the most money to where he ever gonna make for the rest of his motherfucking life just to sit up here and say, oh, erase blackness. I want to erase. He said this. Dude, he said this shit. I want to erase blackness. That's the most disrespectful shit I ever heard any motherfucking tether say.
Mm, preach.
I done heard tether say some disrespectful fucking shit. That's the most disrespectful shit I ever heard any tether say. You want to erase blackness. He said it in front of the fucking world. In a fucking press conference. In front of the fucking world, nigga. Fuck you, you bitch. So that's why I say the death of a Hispanic. Oh, he dead to me. He dead to me. Your black is not my black. And hopefully everybody can fucking realize that.
Yeah. Well, he's Pomeranian.
Barry, what's up, bro?
Yeah, and you have your own mentally here too, laughing at it. So,
Man, no, fuck him. He gonna get up here when his number called. I'm waiting on this particular motherfucker for him. Fuck him. And after this, he going back on block. I got him up here for a reason.
all right. What's up, Barry? How you doing, by the way? Because, I don't know how to respond.
What's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Barry?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm heated, dude.
Hey, you know what?
I've been trying to stay calm, but nigga,
I'm
I've
just
been
now,
heated, dude.
hey, brothers, listen. I mean, I'm not giving it a pass for like what the statement was, but I'm trying to look at it in context, whatever, right? I think when he said black, when he referenced black, I was thinking like maybe he was referencing, oh, that's a black champion, right? Well, there's been a lot of black champions in the past and everything. You know, people have labeled, oh, he's the first black this, he's the first black that. I mean, I remember for sure he's gotten plenty of that. He's gotten plenty of that every time he's won something and all that shit, right? I admit the optics of it ain't too bright, but I don't know about the context of it. Because, you know, when you see somebody like a Bobby Lashley with an MVP,
Barry, can I give you the context?
with Shelton
Can I
Benjamin,
can I give you the
yeah,
context?
yeah, okay. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Let me give you the context. That's why I'm so pissed off about this shit. And I know that you came up for Bobby Lashley before. I do want to let you know that you felt like at the time that at least one of you thought that his father was an American Negro. And I got the proof to where he said that both his parents are Panamanians. So I already posted that, but I'll send it to you after this, okay?
I think I know.
I'm gonna
I
give
think
you the
I know. I
context.
think I know. I think I know what you're talking about. I seen the interview. I seen the
Yeah.
video. I seen
So
the video you
it's
posted.
gonna be no more dispute on that
I
shit.
mean,
And at the same time,
hey,
with you knowing that, mind you, this is a Panamanian that said that shit, okay? So with you knowing that this is a Panamanian that said this shit. So you could get what he's saying, and he put it in a context into where everybody could get what he's saying. But he's saying that shit as a motherfucking American Negro. It is a fucking difference. This man does not speak for us because, like I said, this you don't no. Well, wait, I take that back. Do you mind? And this going on YouTube, so if you don't, do you mind saying where you from?
for me, I'm from Ohio. I'm from Ohio, man.
Okay, so when you out there, are you brushing shoulders with fucking Panamanians?
I mean, it's a whole different culture. It's a whole different environment. You know what I mean? We don't have a lot of
I already
Panamanian.
know that you
We
know
don't
what
have a lot
time
of
it is,
We
but
don't have a lot of Panamanians. You know, in a small city like where I'm from. I mean, you probably that's more so.
yeah.
That's more so like in the bigger cities, like maybe Cleveland. But I think more so you'll probably find some in Cincinnati. You can find some in
So can the Panamanians speak for you?
no. But then again, like I said,
Can the
he may be
Panamanian
no,
tell you, "Oh, I
not at
had
all.
enough success, erase my blackness"? Because that's exactly what the fuck he said.
Well,
I promise you, that's what he said.
okay. Well, I don't know. I can't really interpret it that way. No disrespect. You know what I mean?
I
You
got
know what
you.
I'm saying?
I'll
And no
put you up after
disrespect, no
this.
disrespect. But
I know, no,
I'm
I
saying
know. I'll
just
put you
like,
up after this,
I'm just
but you
trying to
gotta
figure out
trust
the
me, bro.
context of it.
You gotta trust me.
I get it. I get
That's
what
what
you're
I'm telling
saying.
you. No. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. So last night, okay. So that's what I'm telling you, right? So last night, okay, no, let's start with this. Let me put it in full context, right? I already know that you know Perch. Just let me get through this whole little shit real quick. Bobby Lashley, out the blue, it was reported that he was leaving the WWE. This was around fucking May or some shit, right?
July. It was
And
around
by
July, June or July. Yeah.
around July,
Yeah.
people started speculating why and all this other different shit. You know what I'm saying? And the WWE was willing to let him go. That was the crazy part because it was a contract thing. They didn't offer him to resign, or maybe no. They offered him a contract and he chose not to resign. Maybe he felt there was an insult, but they didn't try to do nothing to fight to keep him like they would a Brock Lesnar or anybody else, right? Nothing to try to keep him. They just let him go. But they signed Sheamus, who is white and always injured. No, I'm sorry, he not white. He Irish. You know what I'm saying? Re-signed him and fucking, it was cool with that. And re-signed fucking CM Punk and he injured, stay injured, but he white. And I'm not saying that CM Punk pop numbers, but he does. So, I can understand that. But Sheamus and a couple other people that we could talk about when it come down to the hypocrisy of age. Same thing with Ric Flair back in the day, Hulk Hogan back in the day. They was in their 50s and shit. They was out of shape and fucking just boring and not doing shit and shit. Bobby Lashley is still in great shape, still in great form. He could still put on great matches, and they didn't put no real effort behind him, so he left. And I always defended him for that. Not because he was a black man, just as a wrestling fan. Like I would defend a white if it was the same situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But nigga, I always defended you. And then you still disrespect me. You disrespect my lineage, you disrespect my culture, you disrespect my blackness. Everybody always called you a black man and always made it clear that his skin is melanated, but he is not an American hero. He's a Hispanic. But I still gave you respect because of your work. And
What
you
do you
still
feel?
told
What do you
me and
feel
my
about
children
this?
that you don't give a
Dude?
fuck about us. Man, I've been giving this dude respect since I was a child. Before I started delineating when he was a black man.
How do you
Man, I'm hurt. Nigga, I'm hurt. I already knew, but just to hear that shit hurt. And I'm glad that he said it because we need them to say that shit. Fucking say that shit. Moose from TNA, he a fucking Nigerian. He backed it up and said, I ain't been saying this shit for the longest. What the fuck I just say to this motherfucker? Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna post that up in the Jumbotron. He a Nigerian. Hell yeah, I'm crashing out. Ronald, nigga, you crashing out because you think all black is black. Hell yeah, I call black people tethers when
but
they
I
fucking
want
tethers.
the thing I'm trying to get at is lastly, I mean, like I said, I interpret it differently. I can understand you being upset. I know the optics
Man,
of it.
I'm shit. Oh,
Optics of it.
I'll get over
Hey,
it. After this, Bobby Lashley gotta die. Nigga, he dead.
damn, that's kind of harsh. God damn.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think if the interpreted, I think it's interpreted wrong. But at the same time, the optics of it ain't right. You got another, he hasn't shown any signs of any tetherness or anything like that. Because I've seen him at Wally Mania.
He showed it today.
Hey,
And see, here's my thing, Barry. Come on now. Come on. Now, Barry, I
what's up?
already know you know what time it is.
Yeah, I know what
I
time it
already
is.
know
I
you
know
know
what
what
time
time
it
it
is.
is.
But at the same,
Why do a motherfucker gotta call you? Why do a motherfucker gotta call you a nigger to your face in order for you to say, "Oh, he's racist"?
shit. I wish a nigga. I wish somebody would try that, man. I wish somebody
It ain't
would
even
try.
about that. They shouldn't even have to,
Right,
motherfucker. You
right,
already know what time it is.
right,
Stop trusting these
right.
motherfuckers. Stop loving
Hey,
these
hey,
motherfuckers.
trust me, man. I got no love for these.
Shit,
I got no love for
all of
these
them.
pale faced
All
people.
these new Africans that's coming
I
over
got no
here,
love for these pale
nigga, they
faced
get over
people.
here and get a
Trust me
listen.
on that. Trust me on that
I
shit.
put up a space. I talked to a motherfucker from Lagos the other day, and he was in Lagos, and me and him had a very respectable conversation. And I told him what time it was. I told him how I felt about certain shit, but he told me how it was in Nigeria, and I understand them and their struggle. I understand. But if they do hit this soil, that black first mindset, they got that shit go out the window. Just off
But
of the little basic little shit.
like you said. I mean,
If they coming from dirt,
sure,
our
at all.
dirt poor nothing,
I
our
understand
dirt
how you
poor
feel.
nothing is much better than
I
what they
understand
got,
how
because
you
at least
feel,
our
brother.
people can eat out a garbage can
But
and live in
right,
that bitch.
right. But I understand how you feel, and you got every right to feel that way. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not
But
trying
they
to change
shouldn't
my
come
point of
over here
view.
and then be
You
a
know,
detriment to us, nigga. Shit.
yeah,
Well,
hey, dude, I hear you on that. But at the same time, man, it's like both sides. I see both sides of the equation. I see both sides of the equation. I definitely see both sides of the equation. You know what I mean? And like I said,
You
the
got to show
optics.
me the other side. Explain both of them.
Well, I don't. When they say black champion, right? Black champion. I'm thinking like the term, the stereotype. The stereotype. I'm thinking that what he probably meant, but you could tell by certain actions, certain the way people carry themselves.
He's a Hispanic,
I
Barry. He's a
understand that. I
Hispanic.
understand that. I understand that. I understand that. You know what I mean? He's melanated. He's melanated. I understand that. I get that. He's mixed.
You know he ain't got the same mindset when we talk black.